Welcome to this introduction to Segmentz, our geodemographic mapping and analysis tool. It's one of the tools that we use for our customer insight and analysis on a daily basis. We'll start by having a look at the actual interface itself, which is fairly simple, it's straightforward, it's been kept that way deliberately so it's easy for people to use and begin to get some analysis results quickly and efficiently. Over at the top what we have is our key tabs. This one obviously starts with the map. This is where we can begin to interact with the UK map that you can see on the front here. It has a search and a pan abilities, so we could pan into an area of the UK map, or we can go back out to the UK again. We have some of the key areas here. This area is where we can load in modules that relate specifically to your industry, whether they be mosaic profiles, they can be customer profile data, they can be regional data, they can be government data. These can all be loaded in and overlaid as layers on top of the data for your sites, your customers. More on the demographics, we can look at the map from a regional, town, district, postcode area. We can zoom right down and begin to look very in depth at any particular area relevant to your customers and clients and your outlets, and colour the map in a corresponding way. This currently is highlighted in district level, which means each district gets a colour coding. That colour coding is determined by the shading and the style that I set up. This particular map is shaded based on mosaic profiles, which we'll look at in a moment. The next tab over, we've got data. This is where we can import sites. You can import data either as an Excel spreadsheet, or you can import it directly from a database such as Access. It's very simple and straightforward, and we'll cover that in more detail in one of the future videos that we do. We can also create territories. So if you have a sales territory or a region, we can import those in here and we can colour the map according to those territories and see where your customers lie within each of those territories. From there we can create catchments around those stores or those territories. We can import sites directly in, and once they're in we can have a long list of all of the different sites and different layers that are relevant to what we might want to look at relating to your particular customers. We can colour the map, we can change the map's focus. When we start to look at the map and we zoom in, you might want to be able to look at where that relates to particular regions, so we can overlay map over the top of that. We can highlight the streets, the names, the towns, the motorways, and again the territories that we may have imported. Reports allows us to create reports based on catchments, areas or territories. We can begin to look at to see how each of those catchments relates to another catchment, or we could do a profile report based on criteria that we select, which I will show you shortly, and they might be based on a particular area again, or a catchment or a drive time or radius around a particular location. So we could look at doing a profile report on one particular store or all of your stores and outlets. Or we could look at doing a report on a district, a town, a city. We can do that individually, or we can do that as a batch report over here. And also we can export our maps out into Excel or PowerPoint or anywhere that you might want to put a map with all of the detail on it, so you can begin to build reports based on the analysis and work that you've been doing.